気を見せてやる。
Alright, so in this one we are going to go over the updated GamePress tier list. Obviously GamePress, you don't know what they are a forum, website, whatever you want to call it, where they make a tier list of the top tier units, similar to how I do it. You could do it, anyone could do it, right? It is their opinions of people that are pretty high rank, right? Top 3k, I think it's like top 3k to like 1k to top 100s, like somewhere where I am, if not a little bit worse, a little bit better than. So high up rankers in PvP, basically, right? I like to go over the list from time to time if it is something that piques my interest in, you know, this realm of unit being too low, too high, just giving my opinion on it. Similar how I went over Goresh's top 10, going over GamePress's tier list is what I like to do. Anniversary update list, as a matter of fact, for this one. But just a few things before we do begin. One, we are attempting to hit 15,000 subscribers before anniversary does end. So if you are new and enjoy the content and enjoy the future content we will be having for, you know, the superhero stuff or whatever comes next at part 2, if there's a part 3, feel free to subscribe for all that stuff coming up and what's already on the channel. Then, if you do need QR codes, raid, co-op, all that stuff, feel free to join my Discord in the description down below to get all that stuff done for yourself. But GamePress tier list, I've looked at it. It came out a couple of days ago. I didn't really go over it, but I definitely saw that it updated, and I didn't really have much opinion besides a few things. But there is, again, a few things here that I do want to touch on from this update. Is there the overall like update here? Is this, what month are we? I don't know what month we're in. Hold on. Okay. Wait, what? Is this not updated? I think this is not updated. Hold on, I have to refresh it. After a refresh, it should be good here. Yeah, now it's updated. There we go. And then, where would we be? On this here? I want to read their opinion changes if we could. Yeah, anniversary update. Alright, so let's read this. The Droids duo is most threatening fighter in the meta at the moment. And by the way, it's a tier list. If you don't agree, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's their opinions from higher ranking players than maybe you, maybe I. So I would just say, think of it if you're thinking of units to use, but you don't have to agree, you don't have to disagree, it doesn't matter. Just, again, going over it to see differences in takes and opinions from myself to GamePress here, right? And then obviously your guys' different opinions or similar opinions. In fact, 17-18 are an essential part of multiple top-tier teams thanks to a mixture of constantly fearsome offensive capabilities and frustratingly effective defense potential. While it might not feel as dominant as some of the historically good meta breakers, their performance all around is good enough for them to deserve a placement in God tier. Yeah, I agree. They are the only God tier unit. I think they're a step above the rest, where, you know, maybe Ultra Gogeta could be number 2, but he's number 2 by situation. It's not like he's number 2 24/7, 97 days a week. No, he's number 2 because, well, there's 2 reds running around, right? There's, you know, not the most abhorrent amount of greens, so he's number 2 by default because he's a strong blue that can lock in and kill these reds. And on top of go neutral on it, he can be very, very strong, right? The androids, regardless of who's meta, they've been number 1. That's kind of their like thing. They've been there. Ultra Kaioken falls to the top of Z tier. Oh wait, he's number 2. Ultra Kaioken, he's yellow. Okay, let me see why here. I won't go over everything, just the more important stuff, right? Maybe some lower end stuff, just curiosity, but the higher end stuff's really what matters. He's still the best fighter in the game, arguably. Yes, arguably, he is one of the best. I don't know if he is number 1 best. I think his capabilities of individualism, like, you know, infinite vanishes, infinite key, basically, because he has green cards, infinite combos, is there. But you could argue some others, like the androids, like MUI, like Ultra Gogeta, maybe, in a little bit. They have capabilities that are, like, you know, as dominant, but not the same capabilities, right? But he's not capable of dominating as easily as he was doing months ago due to meta shift shaped up in the meantime, as there are multiple great reds, you know, MUI androids that can control him now, and his teams aren't at the same level as 17-18s. Yes, God tier is supposed to be a very exclusive tier, a placement reserved for very top of the meta, and Goku's slightly below that level at the meta. Yeah, I would say he's lower, but, I mean, still top 5, right? Obviously, you know, top 3 order does matter, but he still is top 5 regardless. Master Ultra Instinct Goku is a very strong fighter overall, and as he's essentially a significantly upgraded version of the Dokkan. Oh my god. The purple MUI, or purple Omen Goku that got released. Much better offense capabilities, better dodge mechanic, and more nifty effects all around. Yeah, more annoying, yes, because you dodge and you auto attack, which whoever thought of that, I mean, it's probably someone doesn't play much. Honestly, they just want like some easy wins in PvP. Honestly, like a dev that just wants easy wins, I believe that. I really would, because you don't have to play. You play against some noob at like BR15. All right, well, I auto dodge. They're like, oh, I got hit. What? And then you just win. You never know. However, the reason he's not ranked higher is that fundamentally, outside the dodge, his kit is quite basic. I agree. So overall, he lacks the means to completely take over the game throughout of the box capabilities that the fighters ranked above have. I think his capabilities right now, because yellows are so hurt by 2 reds, are equivalent to Ultra Kaioken. That's why I'd have Mr. MUI higher, because Ultra Kaioken is equivalent in capabilities, but lacking in color. Well, at that point, MUI just shoots up, because again, you have this red, this other red, the yellow has to go down. It's just how it is. Is Ultra Gogeta not high? Hello? He not talked about? I mean, okay, let's just keep reading, I guess. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta raised the Z tier, the Zenkai one. The green Zenkai one. Quite the journey for this Prince of the Saiyan on the list. After he got Zenkai, he was definitely underrated him initially. Yeah, he definitely was underrated. He didn't get much. I mean, Vegeta Blue in comparison got 0 to what Vegeta got. You know, quite a bit more, right? We expected Vegeta Blue get like similar to Vegeta, and he doesn't even have 2 new uniques. Vegeta Blue. It's really simple. His main ability alone makes him able to pick any fighter from the opponent's team and take him out. An individual tool to have, invaluable tool. I can't read it all. Overall, he's really good offensively, defensively on the team he's used on, and he feels solidly above any S tier fighter. Okay. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta falls to S tier, while some of the base Saiyan base teams he fits in are still quite solid. As a whole, the rest of the meta caught up to him in his prime, so after he got his Platinum equip, what made him stand out was all his effectiveness and fundamental lack of flaws. Even now, dude, I can't read it all. Even now, he's a rather complete fighter, but he just fell behind overall and doesn't feel particularly impressive compared to some of the recent fighters released. I agree with that. He fell down. I would say he's bottom of the top 10, if he even makes a top 10. I think he does, but still like 9 or 10, like he's there. The new Vegeta is tier 1. Even without that limit, because he has the limit of transforming, he would be mid S tier. I mean, if he were Revival, he'd probably be like mid S tier highest. Yeah, maybe S plus, but not more than that. But at current point, he's just a fighter that takes his time to ramp up while being average defensively, and definitely not game breaking. Yeah, he's still a nice blue addition for a team. He doesn't feel better than Beerus. I agree with that. I think Beerus is better, especially because Whis is like 24/7. And then the purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, the lock-in one, is a pretty strong addition to Mono Purple. You run Mono Purple right now, you're just kind of throwing, but you know, yes, he does help Mono Purple, I guess. Much like the green one, he has burst potential. Yes, but less effective. Team that magnifies his stats results in a fighter that can have big impact. I guess he has okay impact. He's not good. Like, really, he's not that good. But there's no yellows running around. He is a purple. There is some greens. He does lock them in. That has some value to it. I wouldn't say on a purple you run him, but I mean, he does have some value there. He's a more flawed fighter than the other Vegeta on his own, and Mono Purple isn't a top tier team either, so high tier 1 is a fitting placement. I would say mid tier 1, but yeah. And then that's the old update. Okay, so let me read through, because they didn't mention Gogeta. I was like, you know, you mentioned everybody else, where's Gogeta? Okay, so Android's number 1, obvious. I agree with that. Everyone probably does agree with that. If you don't, well, I don't think you've actually been playing PvP since the Androids have come out, because they're still number 1 leagues above MUI. Utility, damage, everything they can do. Boost will fall off for all these units, but utility-wise especially. This is, by the way, pre-Golden Frieza, Ultra Kaioken, Whis losing boost, by the way. Like, this is pre that. So, factor that in, I guess. I would still say Gogeta was better with Kaioken having boost, but factor that in, right? Z-tier fighter, Ultra Kaioken, Ultra Gogeta, I would definitely swap those two. Then MUI, I would have above Mr. Kaioken there. Again, you look at 2 dominant reds, it's like, you gotta move the yellow. The yellow gotta go down. The yellow gotta go down, and I look at Full Power Frieza as right there, huh? Okay. Golden Frieza definitely deserves to be in that realm. I would say Cell actually is in a better spot because, again, when there's prominent reds, there's no yellows. When there's no yellows, your purple is free. So red and purple units are eating. And then you run red, purple, green, right? Because you're going to have some blues to counter out. You're kind of vibing. So you run this Cell, you run the androids, and you run maybe Vegeta, or maybe you just run Sword of Hope. It doesn't matter. You just run somebody's a third. Cell definitely is less countered out than Frieza, because Frieza does, there is Cell. Cell exists, right? There's not too many purples. There's Whis, there's Cell, maybe some Super Vegetos right now, but there's not too many purples. But there's no yellows to 3 purples. Who's getting countered out more? It's obviously Golden Frieza. So Cell would definitely be up a notch to where Golden Frieza is. And then, respectfully, for LOE, this full power Frieza, I don't think running any yellow that's not Ultra Kaioken, or maybe Deku, if you really want to force Deku, is viable right now because the dominance of reds. Ultra Kaioken's slippery enough to kind of get out. Deku, just use him for def stuff, and he kind of, helps with the sub counts with the rising rushes and all that. Full power Frieza, you're getting 2-carded by the androids, you're getting 2-carded by MUI. You can't even make it to Z tier, in my opinion. You're not even Z tier anymore. I'm sorry, it's just meta changes. The units lose value, the units gain value. 2 reds, the yellows shoot down, the blues shoot up, right? This Frieza probably should be... You have some greens, right? You have Golden Frieza, you have G4, you have Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So maybe Golden Frieza above Revival Frieza, but Revival Mechanic. And there's only G4 and Cell running around that have anti-revival going on, or any anti-revival, really. That's in the top tier realms, right? You could argue Rebza and Angel Golden Frieza kind of swap positions, especially now after boost, but with them having boost, or Golden Frieza rather having boost, I would say Rebza actually has a tad bit more value because of Revival Mechanic. Maybe, individually Golden Frieza is better as a unit, but the Mechanic or Revival, if you're not running to Cell, which Cell isn't that commonplace, but he is a strong purple, which, again, does hurt these greens here. You're not running into G4 as much as you're running into Cell, I would say. But that's just matchup based, I guess. But still, the 2 Friezas that aren't full power are definitely above full power. Full power is not Z tier. Vegeta I would raise, especially now with Vegeta Blue Zenkai. Was this factored in Vegeta Blue Zenkai? I would assume he'd be up here somewhere if it was. It was not with Vegeta Blue? No, it was not, huh? Nah, it was not. No shot. Okay. Well, without it, I guess you could put him here. He gains value with Vegeta Blue Zenkai, right? Because you're running that team with Puddle. Again, I don't like Puddle right now, but you're running that team with Puddle, Vegeta Blue, Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta, and it does really, wank off Vegeta Blue at that point, where he's just, omnipotent on his damage, and he's actually doing, very consistently high damage. That's a team that does work out. Again, it's not perfect, because you have Puddle, who just dies very quickly, but it does work out to where this guy definitely is above full power Frieza. He would probably be right below Golden Frieza and or right above him at this point, right now, right? S tier, Sword of Hope isn't Z, I just realized that. Okay. So what is this? How many units are in these tiers? This is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. This is top 9 right there. Then 10 would be Sword of Hope. And first form would be over G4. I could kind of see that. Kinda. I honestly wouldn't disagree with that fully. You could argue either. But, okay. Sword of Hope, again, more value than full power Frieza. Drop that man down. Honestly, full power Frieza is probably equivalent to Future Gohan, if not one lower than Future Gohan. I don't think he's above him. I think he's equivalent, because again, Future, that's the team. You're running into Cell, Sword of Hope droids. You're running into that red, red, purple words. Whis, MUI droids. 2 reds. Top 3 reds. Your yellow's gotta lose value somewhere, right? At least Future Gohan could go neutral, I guess. That's copium, but I guess. Yeah, I would say full power definitely gotta go below. He's way too high here. He doesn't have the value he had. There's no purples as much as reds. You're seeing MUI 50 matches out of fucking 45, and then the other 5 you're probably seeing the droids, and then purples you're seeing Cell maybe 10, 5, maybe. You maybe see some Whis, but you don't need to counter out Whis. Whis isn't a tank. Whis is a support type. He's dying quickly anyways, so it's not. The yellows aren't needed. There's no reason to run a yellow. There's too many strong reds, and it's only 2 reds, but they're seen too much. MUI's the anniversary LF. You're gonna see him a lot. Frieza, again, Trunks should be in that Z tier realm, replacing Mr. What's his face? Full power Frieza, then Vegeta would be higher, right? Frieza, I get it. Revival Frieza, this guy, and light crashing, and Angel Golden Frieza. I ran that setup with Angel Golden Frieza for himself after boost, but still the premise is there. I could see his value over G4, but there also is the aspect of G4 just being able to snipe the shit out of USG, and sniping the hell out of Ultra Gogeta before he gets to snipe you out. It's kind of like, what's more valuable? The consistent support, the blue cards. I feel like first form and G4 could definitely be interchangeable, but I don't disagree with the first form being actually right there at all. Future Gohan, you can stay there. You can go neutral. You know, maybe you're not having the most insane value, but you can go neutral. GV, Jiren, Super Vegito, Gamma 1. Why is Gamma 1 so high? I guess, again, purples aren't that prominent, right? They're there, but they're not that prominent compared to, like, a blue, Sword of Hope, Ultra Gogeta, right? GV, I mean, GV's probably above Jiren, even on just normal ass God Key. Tag mechanic, man, strong. And Jiren, I mean, droids are running around, Ultra Gogeta's running around, that's 30 counts nullify endurance, that's full nullify endurance, MUI, and every single unit on their ultimate basically feels like they nullify endurance besides Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta Zenkai. The green one, obviously. Jiren just devalues more and more and more as we continue. It's sad, but kind of anticipated. Jiren relying on Rush when just stupid. He should have been Revival if that was going to be a thing, but I digress from there. Super Vegito, fine spot. Could lower him a little bit, but doesn't matter too much. Gamma 1, not sure about Gamma 1. Haven't used him much. He's only 4 stars for me here. I get it. I get what he can do. Like, you know, vanish quite a bit. You think he gets vanished back like 2 or 3 times on his green card. His blue card can do nice damage. His blast can do pretty good. He gets pretty high up critical, I do believe. Critical rate, actually. Just like Gamma 2, but I feel like I don't know. There's not enough experience with them. Like, I could say that's maybe too high, but I don't have enough experience. Definitely Whis, though. Whis is too low. That best team in the game, like, that is the best team in the game. Red, purple, MUI, droids, Whis. Whis is the green card supplier, the pivot, and the early game combo starter, because you know special cover change for 60 counts with Whis. Just combo starter. Just combo start until you have a green card in your hand, then boom, go to the androids, then keep comboing, because you're still null special cover change after the green card with the androids. That's it. You have a pivot, which is Whis. You have another pivot of MUI, and this is a spawning of green cards, and getting support and getting your sub count down. Whis is definitely higher up. Whis is probably above Jiren's value. Jiren, honestly, like, quite realistically, has no value, like, in general. Like, I want to look at everyone that can nullify endurance. Full Power Frieza, sure. Cell, ultimate. Gold Frieza can't. MUI can. Ultra Kaioken can. Gogeta can. Long. Droids can. Forever. So, what? 6 out of the units up here that can nullify endurance? At least for some existence. Not even maybe forever, but some existence. Whis is higher. Whis is higher. Whis is higher for sure. Whis is probably around GV level. If not a little bit higher, a little bit lower. I think they're comparable. For sure. Whis got to glow up. That team is so dumb. Red, purple. If you don't have it, use Yajirobe or something. But, you know, Whis definitely does a lot for the team. Full Power Frieza Zenkai. Nope. Go down. Nope. Gassed beyond belief. That guy was so overrated on release. It's actually insane. Not, like, no shot. He was really overrated. All he does is have 10% cut off cover, 50% on cover, then, you know, 6% cut basically, and then he does 100% on his blue card after he pops main. That first blue card, right? You miss it, you're fucked. Doesn't matter, because it's not going to do even that much, because 100% is really not that much nowadays, it's just saying. It's really not that high. Like, units start off with, like, 130. Like, Ultra start off with, like, 120, 110, 130. It's like, 100%, okay, that's fine. It's one blue card. Overrated unit, he's yellow. Drop down. You should be, like, low tier 1, highest. Like, no yellow should be, like, high as hell, and this is quite high for tier 1. Vegeta, didn't they say Beerus is better than Vegeta? What? I thought that, I read that. Didn't I read that? I read the whole thing. Where is it? Where is it? Where are we? Up here. Right? He doesn't even feel particularly better than Beerus. What? He doesn't feel better than Beerus. That means Beerus is better. Why did it switch? Okay, whatever. Beerus is better, though. Beerus is better, but for sure. Beerus is right next to Whis. In this list, right? Because I would swap Beerus and that Zenkai first, or Full Power Frieza there. Yeah. Dad's Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta definitely has okay values. Monster Goku Black could probably go up a little bit. Probably. Gamma 2. Again, not enough experience. Survival Gohan. Deku probably can move up quite a bit. You know, he does take a rush. Basically, he's forced to take a rush. He does his job, right? He is doing his job. Given he is yellow, he is doing his job quite perfectly there. But anything else below this? Is there anything like nitpicky that's like, oh my god, that's so like outlandish? I mean, these units in true reality don't matter. Anything down here that's like maybe should be a bit higher? I feel like I'm trying to look for like blues or greens, right? Or purples even. Like, there's probably nothing, right? Yeah, there's really nothing. Oh my god, some of these LFs though, they're so down bad. They're rating the EXs. I mean, never even touched those EXs. Blue Nappa! Hey man, he's good against MUI. I used him, he did good against MUI. No special cover change, man, that's valuable. Yeah, definitely pre-Zenkai on Vegito Blue there, obviously. But, not too many nitpicks. I mean, I know I point out a lot of stuff, but in reality, if I'm like thinking about it, like what's really the important things here? Ultra Kaioken gotta go lower. These yellow units gotta go lower, right? Ultra Gogeta's probably number 2. I don't think that's even debatable at this point. Red, you got it. You gotta have your blue. You gotta go up. MUI probably number 3. At this point, I would say the tie that I kind of like was thinking of with like Golden Frieza, Cell, and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, that was all there. Well, you know, Boost is now over, and then this new buff with Vegito Blue, again, this is pre that, but still this new buff with Vegito Blue kind of running with Vegeta. You would probably say Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta is like number, well, look, Droid's number 1, Ultra Vegeta's number 2, MUI number 3, Kaioken number 4, so Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta would be number 5. Probably Cell be number 6 because Eloise kind of missing that 3rd unit. Well, Cell's not missing anything. Then Golden Frieza maybe number 7, Raul Frieza number 8, and then Full Power Frieza again not top 10 at all. Trunks number 9, and then you argue LF and G4 as the number 10 slot. But I mean, yeah, you just listen to what I just said. The only thing I'm really debating is swapping these positions on top here just a little bit, and then move this guy all the way down for quite a fucking while. Then just put Trunks a little bit higher. Like, honestly, it's not bad at all. But it might seem out of order, like, in this top tier, because Ultra Kaioken's yellow, but I think that's the only, like, big gripe I would have with this. What's the explanation for this again? Ultra Kaioken? Where is it? Where are we? Ultra Kaioken, please. Thank you. He's still the best fighter in the game, arguably, but he's not capable of dominating months ago. Decent meta shape, though. In the meantime, there are multiple great reds. Yeah, so if, his teams aren't good enough. Respectively, he is equivalent to other units in his staying power, I guess you could call it, because MUI has probably equivalent staying power. Maybe not as good utility. Maybe not. Probably not, actually. It doesn't, MUI, but the staying power is quite comparable with MUI to Ultra Kaioken, I would say. I feel like it's just, it can't be comparable, I guess, how they are like neck and neck. Like, I think MUI is just a tad bit better at that point. Not really like, oh my god, you can interchange them. I don't think that's possible. I think MUI has to be above. Again, he's yellow. That I said this before. If Ultra Kaioken weren't yellow, if he were any other color the entire game, he'd probably be above MUI. Like, maybe even above Ultra Gogeta if he was like the perfect color, but he'd be above MUI right now. Easily. But he's yellow. So it's like, you gotta dip down there, my buddy. Slightly below that level at the moment, yeah. Not fortunate, though. I mean, it's fortunate for us, because he was annoying as hell. I mean, MUI's the new annoying unit, but yeah. Yeah, overall, not bad. More liking this one than anything. The Gammas, I wish I had more of an opinion on, to where I could, like, say, like, that's maybe too high, maybe too low, maybe that's perfect. Like, I don't know. I can't tell. Whis definitely very low, though. Whis is GV level, Future Gohan level, like, yeah. Again, there's no yellows, so these purples should gain value. Right? Again, Jiren's kind of an odd case where endurance nullification does exist, but these yellows should gain value, or purples rather should gain value. There's no yellows running around. I mean, you know, Whis is there. Whis is on a double red setup, right? It's like, Whis is free as hell. But, what do you guys think of the GamePress tier list? I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty on spot with most things. Again, some things obviously can't change the order of, but the tiers of the units are in a proper space, I would say. Again, Kaioken, Gogeta, all in these E tier spots. Maybe this Frieza, no, but these other units are definitely in a placement that you would probably have on your own tier list. Like, everyone in this Z tier, besides Willpower Frieza, probably is in 95% of people's top 10, right? Like, you can't really argue that. And that's kind of what matters. If they can all make a top 10, or at least most of them, I mean, the list is probably doing its job well. So, let me guys think of the GamePress tier list, and I'll see you guys in the next one.